I'm here with Jeff Abbott, CEO of Wasabi Ventures Global. So Jeff, tell me a little bit about the mission of Wasabi Ventures Global.
Wasabi Ventures Global is an early stage, seed stage, venture capital firm based in San Mateo, California. And what we specialize in is building and scaling early stage startup technology companies. We have a presence in Boston, Santiago, Chile, and we're just now starting to participate in the Middle East.
Nice. So is it almost like an accelerator or an incubator kind of thing, or just
so we have a fund.
What's the approach?
Yeah, so sometimes we just find something we like and we invest cash from the fund just like any other investor. What we prefer to do is we have a couple programs that are acceleration programs where we work with partners to actually try to build the startups. And we prefer to do that so that by the time we invest, we've gotten to know the team, we feel really comfortable about the problem they're solving, the technology, we've gotten to know them and like them and believe that they're going to succeed. And so we have a couple different programs. One is focused on technology commercialization, where we find a really promising piece of technology, say at a university or within a corporation, and we build a startup team around it and accelerate that. And another one could be, we call it Escape Velocity, a company that's already achieving traction in a smaller market that needs to scale, needs to get out of that market to other markets or to a really big market, say the United States. And we start working with them while they're still in their local market to develop that scaling plan so that when they actually make the move into the big market, they know exactly what they're going to do and it's just turnkey.
Do you have any success stories that you want to share? Something that you saw, felt passionate about, and watched it explode?
You know, one of the things that I'm personally most excited about is our approach to technology commercialization, and it's something that I was working on before joining Wasabi Ventures and have brought to the company, to the team. And it was my belief that if you could find great technology that was sort of a hidden gem sitting inside a university or a lab or even a corporate, and find the right people with the right skills and industry knowledge to understand that technology and how to apply it, and then if you could put the right pieces around it, that you might have the makings of something really successful that could move down the acceleration path much more quickly. And we're having really good results with that, so I'm particularly excited about that right now.
Yeah. Was there any kind of moment for you when you were like, yes?
Yeah, for sure. I think the moment happens about every couple of weeks when I continue to talk to people who say, you know, I know what you're talking about. I think we have technologies like that, and yes, we want to do that, but we don't know how. A real strong example is when we find a founder, let's say someone that's already got a master's degree, who started a company before, is successful, and we match that amazing person with the right technology, and then with our support, how quickly something can move to a really promising startup that even leaps past, you know, seed stage and is almost ready for a Series A. And we've got a couple examples like that, and hopefully a few more about to happen.
That's very exciting. So what is it about the Middle East that drew you here, and what are you hoping to see come out of it?
Sure. So we started in Doha due to a partnership with the Qatar Science and Technology Park. I had worked last summer with the gentleman who's the managing director there.
Oh, it's summertime. Yikes.
We were actually in France, so okay. We were both escaping. I was living in Phoenix, so we were both escaping the heat. But he liked what we were doing and wanted to start a program like this. We started working on that some months ago. It's actually ongoing right now. So it was that invitation that I guess got us to come here, and we're really excited about what we see. There is the convergence of the elements that I think are necessary for success, which is people that really have a passion to be entrepreneurs, a supportive ecosystem. You look around here and you see that certainly there's government initiatives, there's corporate initiatives, there are many different elements that are there to support a startup. And if you add to that good technology and availability of non-dilutive seed stage capital, then you've got a playground that theoretically the ingredients are there to work with.
So the ingredients are passionate entrepreneurs, infrastructure, and seed capital.
Seed capital, and in our case, the extra addition could be, is there really great technology that is available that could be matched with a founding team. It's not always what we do, but if that's there, that's a nice addition.
For years now, Dubai and the entire UAE has been saying, we want to be the innovation hub of the world. We want to be, technology innovators, and the reference point. In your experience, do you see that happening, and what are the possibilities?
So I was here the first time 5 years ago, and I remember just being blown away. I'm here again now, and I'm once again blown away. I had the same kind of feeling in Doha, and I mean, if you put this in a historical context, right? The United States is a relatively young country. I was living in Phoenix, which largely experienced its growth since the end of the Second World War, where the population has doubled in the last, say, 30 years. But I don't think there's any other example on the planet. It's truly unprecedented, where, again, just like the elements I was talking about of building a successful startup, we're witnessing nation building, right? I mean, here you have a government with a vision that seems benevolent and enlightened, that has resources, and is causing things to happen that are bringing people from all over the world. And I don't think we've ever seen anything like that in history that has moved at this pace. Certainly there's been nation building, but not at this pace. And so I personally like the vision, and I think it's self-evident that it's drawing a lot of people from around the world to play a role in it. So I think it's possible.
Very cool. And it's not as big as the US, so it's not as bulky
right.
move. It's a smaller circle, but it's definitely moving at a pace we've never seen before. And that's probably due to the technology and the ability we have to scale things faster now than we did before.
Totally. Right. The interesting thing is, when it comes to scaling is there's a lot of great startup ecosystems, and I think this is one of them, right? In fact, Dubai was ranked on the recent Startup Genome Index number 19 in the world. A lot of factors go into ranking there, but there's only one ecosystem that's proven itself repeatedly to be a scale-up ecosystem, and that's still Silicon Valley. And so the challenge for all these other ecosystems is not just to produce things, but to produce things that actually grow to scale, exit and bring back the results, the human talent and the capital back to continue the fertilization, if you will, of the ecosystem. So I think that is the next challenge here. And you see it on the lips of people here in the conference. I just came from a panel called Scale Up.
Yes.
Right? So it's what people are thinking about, and that's actually one of the things that we focus on at Wasabi Ventures Global is scaling.
Yes.
So
what do you consider, let's say 5-10 years from now, what will be your markers for success? Like, yes, I've done it.
Yeah, I think I have a pretty clear vision. In 10 years, we'll have a larger team, a really great team of talented people. Many of them young people who find a promising future working with us. We'll have a permanent presence in 3 or 4 key places around the world, ecosystems that have those special ingredients I referred to. And we will have raised a successive number of funds that are successful and returning returns to limited partners, and will be known as one of the firms that helped solve that scaling challenge with some of the first companies coming out of those ecosystems where we've partnered. So we're going to put our secret sauce to the test, and 10 years from now it will be proven.
Wasabi?
That's really good. I guess it must be.
Yeah.
I better not say Worcestershire if we're not Worcestershire Ventures, right?
So, yeah, that was my last question. Is what is wasabi? Why wasabi?
You'd have to ask the two guys that started the business,
Okay.
but which I joined a few years ago. But the story, as I've heard it, is they didn't want to have another boring name like the startup factory or the furnace or the foundry, right? I mean, all of these names are so cliche, and I think it probably happened over sushi.
Maybe.
Right?
A lot of great business ventures
Somewhat
do.
of a flippant, spicy choice.
Well, you're the one who mentioned secret sauce, so we'll call it wasabi.
All right, let's
All
do.
right, thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Nyla. A real pleasure.